What up, world? I just wanted to make a little toolbox tour of my own. I've been storing my tools at my grandfather's place, and as you can see, we're prepping to be moving out. So I thought I'd do a quick inventory of what I have before I start. So the top drawer of this 4-drawer little Craftsman box. This was the first box that I ever got when I was starting to get into cars, and it's just been immensely helpful. I can't tell you how much money I've saved by having the tools that I have here on everyday repairs with your car, just fixing something or doing oil changes. So in the top drawer, I've obviously expanded a little bit over the years. And so now the top drawer is basically just a screwdriver drawer and a miscellaneous. So I have some flashlights, some markers, like some chapstick, whatever you need, including the owner's manual for my car, stuff like that. The top drawer is all 1/4-inch stuff. It's all Craftsman. I'm missing a few because, you lose some over the years. But I have to say that this little Husky, it was like $6 at Home Depot one day. It's really, really fine tooth, and I find myself grabbing this one more than any other. Like, compared to the Craftsman one that you get the little standard, very coarse Craftsman, it's just much, much better. And for $6, it's very nice to be able to use that with all your other stuff. This has a little bit driver for any of the bits that you may use. Extensions, I have some Pittsburgh wobble extensions that I'm just laying sort of in the back, but these are also really helpful. It came in a big set, also really cheap. I also have some spare sockets, like whenever I have doubles of anything, I just sort of stack them over there. The next one down is 1/4-inch. The first one is all Imperial, or what you'd call standard here in the US. I have a Snap-on FL80, which is just so smooth to listen to. It's probably my favorite tool overall because it's the thing that you use regardless of what socket you're using. You're always using the socket, so I thought I'd spend some money and actually get a really decent ratchet. It's a big upgrade over the standard flat handle Craftsman that you get. I also have an older Snap-on that's a long handle, but this one isn't the FL80, so it's really coarse. But if you're taking off a wheel or something, then this gives you great leverage and really helps with that. And again, Snap-on lifetime warranty, Craftsman lifetime warranty. Again, you see I have the extensions just laying in the back. You go down to the next drawer, and these are all the 12-point and 6-point metric sockets that are 1/4-inch. I don't know if you can see that, but these are all the metric ones. It also has the 1/2-inch Craftsman ratchet. This is just like a little vial of screwdriver bits. As the screwdriver bits live here, I thought I'd keep it there, and various adapters and stuff. The next drawer is all the 1/2-inch stuff. It's Imperial and metric. I also have the extensions over here. And after, I outgrew this box. For a little while I had like a smaller box, but then I finally realized that it was just being stuffed to the top. You have a little junk drawer, and my slightly bigger box, I don't know what it is, like a 20-something inch box. The top drawer was just being filled with junk, so I thought I needed something bigger, and I found this on Craigslist for like $150. It's a 42-inch, and right now, I have stuff sitting on top of it. In here is basically just breaker bars, pry bars, my OBD2 scanner, and just various other things. So the first one is kind of like a pliers drawer, miscellaneous. I'm a big fan of these Knipex pliers. My uncle introduced me to these in Germany, and so I had to get my own, but you basically have a little ratcheting action. I mean, it's much better than the crescent wrench, because you can get on the nut, turn it, let go, turn it again. So it has a little basic ratcheting, and it's just so incredibly well made. Extending, lighted magnet, oil filter wrench, another oil filter wrench. These Robo pliers really help you get good grip. Like, you see how, as I'm squeezing down, that's when the end of the thing is, and after there it's just extra torque, which I always grab those if I'm going to do something like that. I have the little Harbor Freight cheapo snap ring pliers, because it's not something I often do. C-clamps, mirror, and this is also where I keep the Leathermans that are not like my everyday carry Leathermans. So I've got this really old one from like 2001, I want to say, as well as all the bits that go with the Leatherman Wave. And then this tool is another thing I found in Germany. My boss had one. I was like, I need one of those in my life. So it's just a set of Allen keys. It has the bolt drivers on it. It's meant for bicycle ownership and bicycle maintenance, but you know, it's always good to have. I have a couple bikes. Second drawer is another sort of miscellaneous drawer. I got some zip ties, some spare clamps. These are some lifters that are going in the Mazda. And then I find that these little Altoids tins are really useful for holding, let me see if I can do this. Really helpful for organizing and storing fuses. So you got bus fuses, you got regular fuses, stereo fuses. They all sort of fit in there, and I keep them organized as such down in the back. I have a couple of these Harbor Freight like electrical essentials things, you know, some butt connectors, and then I accidentally ordered a new set of screwdrivers, and I already had the Phillips, but I didn't have the flatheads. So the new flatheads went up here, and then the spare Phillips went down here. But it's nice to always have two. I have a couple Torx drives as well, and just, you know, like this is a snowboard tool, but it, you know, drives a bit, so it's helpful. Some ratcheting, bit drivers, stuff like that, soldering iron, pick, you know, a random knife. Like it's a pretty random drawer. The next drawer is my favorite drawer because it's my metric wrench drawer, and I think it's the most complete one that I have. Like I've got the double box end Craftsman with the very low offset. I have the Baum, which I found in Germany is like one of the major brands that people use. It's either Facom, Baum, or this other brand that I can't remember. But having these, and they're much better quality than the Harbor Freight stuff that you can get. These are the little midget ignition wrenches that you get from Craftsman. They're basically shit, but you know, they look good. Flare nut wrenches, regular Craftsman, you know, your standard Craftsman wrenches. And then I also have a full set 17 to 8 of the gear wrench ratcheting wrenches, which I really love. I mean, these have just come in such handy. And then I have one snap-on wrench that I think my friend left at my house this one time, and he's never asked for it back, and he's never been back, so it's living here until he comes and picks it up. The next drawer is the gear wrench long wrenches. Now these are seriously long. Like I don't know if I can even show you in the frame yet. These give you some serious torque. Like if you're doing suspension, if you're lowering cars or doing exhaust work, like replacing catalytic converter or something, these are just fantastic. And that's a complete set from 19 all the way down to 8. I also have some old SK wrenches that my grandfather just didn't want anymore, and I have them. I have the sizes already, but if it's SK, you know, why donate them? And then I have this big bag of Allen wrenches. Now I know it's not ideal. My roommate once just put them all in a bag, and I haven't had the time to separate them into metric and imperial, but they're there. The next drawer is my imperial drawer, and it's not nearly as full or complete, but I have some gear wrenches, some Craftsman wrenches, some nut drivers, some stubbies, a couple of Torx that I found myself needing for this one Volkswagen that I was doing. Or this one's not Torx, but these are Torx. They're Viha, and it's great German quality. This is where I also keep the adjustable wrenches. And again, if you compare the precision that you can get from a Knipex versus an adjustable wrench. I mean, this is even a Proto, like it's a pretty nice one, but the precision is just not there. And again, you have to put it on, tighten it, turn as much as you can, let go, take it off, put it on. With the Knipex, you just avoid all of that. You know, like you can just find the bolt size, clamp down, turn, let go, swing around, clamp, turn, and it's all one-handed operation. It's just a wonderful tool. So we're going to put that back over there. The nut drivers are really cool. I got them in like this for $5. This guy was just getting rid of a bag of tools, and those are part of it, along with this this wrench rack. I also have a couple of like just spares and doubles. Like there's a snap-on that I found at a railroad like repair place that was just all abandoned one time, and just a random Pittsburgh ratcheting one, as well as some doubles of Craftsman. And then at the bottom I have the big tap and die set, like chemicals, some speaker wire, various other chemicals, Goof Off and silicone sealant and JB Quick Weld. This is a what's it called? A torque wrench, which has definitely come in handy a few times. Doing a couple head jobs on Nissans and Hondas. Over on this side, it's again another kind of like random drawer. I have like my safety. This is kind of like a safety thing. So I have some work gloves. All my precision bits are in here, as well as gloves and spare head bulbs and some healing balm if your hands get really dirty and chapped and stuff. Some Purell. I've got like a measuring gauge, and then all of the spare bulbs for all of the cars in the family. Like we have backups for my mom, for my aunt, for my grandfather, for me. They're all in that drawer, as well as some triple antibiotic. Like if you get really damaged, it's nice to have that covered. The next one is kind of like my paperwork drawer. I've got all the manuals for the cars that I tend to work on, as well as all the paperwork for the cars that I own, as well as the axle socket from a Mazda. Like that's a big ass socket. And then we may have to move some parts, but this bottom drawer is kind of like the oh, that's not going to come out. The bottom drawer is like the big stuff, like pullers and some drills, and all the electric tools are all down in here. But this is my little tool setup, and I'm really happy with it. I don't exactly know where I'm going to put it next, but it served me so well. And I think any money that you can spend on tools, it's going to serve you for a lifetime. Always having the thing that you need for the job at hand. Magnetic tray on the side, and then car parts, car parts, car parts, car parts, car parts, car parts. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it.